Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Film Seizure. This is week 5 of A-MAY-rican Ninja Month, and today's movie is A-MAY-rican Ninja 5.
I feel like we need to go back and do number 3 again because I messed up the A-MAY-rican Ninja.
I think it's perfect, just so it is.
It's perfect for 3. It's
yeah. Sorry.
There you go. Chuck, say hello again. Joined as always by Charles Moore.
Hello. How are you?
And also by Jeffrey Arbuckle.
Hey guys, how's it going? We've been on a journey, haven't we?
We have.
And it's kind of like, for a part of this journey, I kind of felt like I was stashed away in the bottom of a plane that looked like the letters on the side of it was made by an AI and flew me all the way to Venezuela.
I feel like I didn't know a whole lot about ninjutsu, and now I think I know all the things about ninjutsu that are absolutely wrong.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you knew less.
I don't think I can know less, but I can think I know about ninja. Wow. Here we go again. I can think I know about ninjutsu, but not know anything at all still. Right.
How do you feel about like the Ninja brand processors and stuff? Do you know anything about those now?
Oh, like
the food processors?
The food processors.
Yeah. Do you know anything about those?
No.
I know more about Ron Popeil pasta makers, but also
I was always a George Foreman guy myself. Yeah.
I like to set it and forget it. Jason used to be a little ninja man, and now he's still kind of a little ninja man.
Oh, there is a little ninja man in this. Yes.
It's also the title of this movie before they moved it to American Ninja 5.
Oh man, that's really funny. That is Little Ninja Man. That's pretty fitting of the movie. It's the working title. So they were like, oh, we've got a funny line in the movie twice about a little ninja man. So
working title, previous title, whatever. Yeah, sorry.
Little Ninja Man doesn't sell though.
No, unless it was like her villages or
5
something.
Sells.
Right. You're right. Hervey Villages. Also, Little Ninja Man doesn't work as a pickup line, so don't do that either.
No, don't do that one. It doesn't work.
Don't go around saying you're going to show everybody you're a Little Ninja Man.
Before I watched this movie, I did a little reading. Somebody did a ranking of the American Ninja movies.
Okay.
And they called this one out as being written for kids and too thin a plot to carry the story. And I was like, oh, shit. And this is before I watched either 4 or 5. And I'd already was in the mind place of the rest of this is like, the rest of these 2 movies is like trying to land a little one-winged plane on the back of a truck. And it wasn't going to happen. Right. It wasn't going to happen. The coaching was going to go wrong and we were going to crash into the side of a mountain. But man, this one was fun too.
I love this one too.
It has a charm. It has a charm about it. But man, following on the heels of American Ninja 4, it's jarring.
It is jarring, but I think it's a needed jarring because if they tried to duplicate the last movie, I would have been mad at it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I would have been like, why? Why are you doing this?
I still kind of feel like Gary Conway should get partial writing credit for this one too, because while they're not striving to create a genetic super ninja. They are striving to create a chemical weapon, and they do kidnap a daughter in order to force the scientists to do what they want. And they have a deadline, the villain has a very strict deadline put upon him by the general. It is like, it's American.
Bloodlines of the story are running through this one.
Yes, most definitely. So Gary Conway, you're not alive anymore, but you should have got writing credit on
If he had gotten writing credit for this one, he'd still be alive.
Yeah. He would have made $3 more in his life.
Yeah, all $3 because I didn't pay for this movie. It was I guess technically I pay Google for my YouTube Premium, which gave me this movie. I don't know, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I like David Bradley the best in this one.
Oh my God. He's so likable in this.
Yes, he's extremely likable in this.
This movie has an actual personality? Question mark?
It's kind of thoughtful. It's a thoughtful movie.
But it has a personality.
Just because you are a personality doesn't mean you have personality.
But no, because like he's got a little bit of a, we should say that David Bradley is, serious kung fu man who is gonna house sit for Pat Morita. Oh, Pat Morita shows up. That's great.
They made him say bonsai too.
I know. The bonsai needs water.
At least he doesn't put on an accent in this one, though.
No, he's just straightforward on Pat Morita.
Yeah.
Hey, also, by the way, David Bradley, I need you to babysit my nephew, who I'm just kind of like, fuck that kid, is like what he is, kind of his attitude.
It's all plan. It's all his plan.
Yeah, it's like, by the way, I'm going to go off to Athens. I'm not going to tell anybody that I have that I have a nephew that also needs to be watched like a house.
Boy, we are skipping a lot here.
I know. We need to talk about a lot. I mean, there's a girl who can't read who's I'm just smitten by, like, from the get-go. I was like, I hope this little lady in her little service uniform for boats is a thing for the rest of this movie because she's adorable. And I was right. She wasn't in the rest of the movie.
Yes.
She can't read.
No, she mistaked a T for a V. Yeah.
The easiest thing's the mistake. It's not like a T or a J.
She's supposed to tarnish, but she varnished. I don't even know what a tarnishing would be in this case.
No, he says that the brass
was
tarnished, so it needed to be polished, essentially.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So when he said it was tarnished, it then basically the work order came across and she's like, oh, he needs varnishing. I don't know, but it's a meet cute.
You still, even before the meet cute,
I know.
The opening credit sequence of this movie, it's a training montage of the first of many, I should mention. But it's amazing.
The ping pong balls and apples.
He's got this ping pong ball in the middle of this netting, and he's very, very precisely targeting the ping pong ball with his karate moves. But his master is working on these apples who are on a samurai sword blade up, 3 apples halfway down, and he's got to chop the apple off the sword without
chopping his hand off his wrist.
Yeah, at the same time, right? So it's very, very precise movement in a different way. And he does his, but there's also 3 candles in the foreground of the shot. You're like, what's going to happen with those 3 candles? Because the master doesn't do anything with the 3 candles; they just stay lit. But then David Bradley, what's his name in this? It's Joe.
Joe Castle.
That's not confusing at all.
Joe Castle.
Joe Castle, and then he does it. But when he chops the apples, he creates a force of wind. I think that's how it works, and all the candles go out.
Yes,
one after the other. And his master looks at him and is like, you are now the master. He doesn't say that, but that's implied. Is that you have now surpassed me in skill, as all good students should.
Apples to apples, Joe is better.
Right. Apples to swords.
Well, that's Tadashi Yamashita. He was a real dude. He's a real dude. I mean,
he did all
like
of
a karate
stunt choreography in this as well.
He's karate man.
Sequences.
He's playing himself in this movie.
Yes, he is.
That too.
So he's bowing down to David Bradley, saying, "I might be playing myself, but you blew out those candles real good, so you are king karate guy."
He also has a longer Wikipedia page than David Bradley, if that means anything.
Well, he's probably done like competitions and shit, right?
He's probably won actual karate tournaments.
Oh my God, he was in Gymkata. Well, fuck off, everybody. Gymkata is what we should talk about now.
Wait, he was in American Ninja somewhere. Who was he in American Ninja?
The first one?
He was Black Star Ninja.
Oh, he was the main. Was he the main dude?
He was the main
Okay.
dude
Well, we
in that
never saw. Well, I guess we did see him.
one. Oh shit, he's in the octagon.
Oh shit. Anyway, all right. So, bitchin' training montage at the beginning. Then, like, Joe's like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home. I live on a boat, and that's when he like finds the girl who's varnished all of his shit, all of it, and she's like, oh, I can't read. Sorry. I that's a T. Oops. Stay at my place. I'll make food. You want chicken or fish?
Ooh.
And he's like, whoa,
What?
whoa.
He's like,
Whoa. Wow.
Wait till you taste my dessert.
Yeah, can I get the fish while you're dressed as a chicken?
What?
What?
No, don't bring your weird stuff into this, Jeff.
Keep it in the bedroom, Jesus.
Anyway. But anyway, he's like, I guess, I don't know, whatever. He's like, where does he goes someplace to sleep.
No. He says, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to the gym. And then he goes to the gym to train kids. But he doesn't train kids.
He only trains himself.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck he's training.
I don't know.
But that's when Pat Morita does show up with his nephew and is like, you're watching my house this weekend, right? You're also watching this child that is part of the house.
Yep.
He's like, I don't do that. And he's like, maybe you can train him to be a ninja. He's like, I don't train kids. And he's like, maybe
there's some kids over
He's
there.
like, well, what about that kid over there? It's like, that's not mine. That's Tadashi's deal.
Yeah. That's someone else's kid. He's like, well, maybe I'm going to leave now. Good luck.
And then
Yeah, he's gone.
He's a fucking magic man too.
Yeah. And then the kid's like, how does he do that? And
only
Joe is like,
can do that.
Yeah, ninja
like,
secret.
You teach me to be a true ninja, and he's like, shut up, kid. Play your game.
Yeah. Go play your Game Gear.
The Game Gear gets a lot of screen time.
Yeah, this movie brought to you by Sega.
Yeah.
And he's
then
like,
he makes the master watch him.
Yeah, watch after this kid. I'm going to take a shower. And then the little kid who is Hero,
yeah, Lee Reyes.
Yes, and Hero's like, "Can I drive your car?" No, wait. He asked Tadashi if he can fuck about with his nunchucks. And he's like, I'll trade you. And Tadashi's like, I'm a fan of Sega.
He's like, Sega.
Yeah. And so, it would have been great if that kid like immediately like destroyed his testicles. Like,
no, but he threw the nunchucks through the glass.
Yes.
In the building. And Joe, who I want to call Sean this entire movie, is like, oh, shucks. And then they get in the truck and have
kids like, I'm going to
their first like cute, like, this is, I don't even know what you call this movie. What do you call this kind of movie? Like,
well, it's his little, he's got a little short round in this movie.
Yeah, sure.
So the movie that I mentioned last week, the TV show that I mentioned last week about the little kid who lives with a fat white cop,
Webster.
And no, I know it seems like it's
Jake
Webster,
and the Fat Man,
but it's Webster with a little Asian boy who knows karate, and it was called Sidekicks. It was called Sidekicks, yeah, and this was in the mid '80s. But every single episode, there would be some sort of crime happening. And Ernie was his name, the little kid's name. He would get somehow in the middle of it, like trying to help his dad solve the crime, because his dad was a detective. And he would get caught, and he would get in a situation where he was like the villains were about to kidnap him or kill him or something, right?
Right.
But he would somehow there would always be a phone call from the white cop. It would always be some way he could get a message to the guy he lived with, and he would always sign it. He would always call him Dad in the message, and then the cop would read the message. He was like, "Oh my God, Ernie's in trouble. He never calls me Dad." And then So what would happen then is Ernie would kick the shit out of all the bad guys, right? The kid would kick shit out of all the bad guys, and then his dad would show up late after it, and he'd be like, "Oh, cool, we just mopped it up."
You
So
made this whole thing up.
Wait.
No, that was every single episode of the show.
So when you said every single episode, you mean every single one episode of the show? Because
it was one season. It was one season. There's 22.
They got 22 fucking episodes out of that premise,
and every single one worked like that. Every single one of them.
Was this supposed to be?
Christ.
Was this a branch off of the movie Sidekicks?
No, it was before that.
Movie Sidekick was 94.
Yeah,
I do not remember this, and this would have been way up my ninja alley.
22 episodes of this.
It was Ernie
shit.
Reyes Jr. was the kid.
Oh yeah, he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it, but I was like 7 years old, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I cannot.
7-year-olds.
I cannot imagine how they got 22 episodes out of that premise every single episode.
I mean, ninjas were fucking everything in the mid 80s, man. For kids, anyways, until Elf took over.
I guess it was a spin-off of a Walt Disney 1986 special, The Last Electric Night, which I've never seen and doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
I feel like
spin-off of that.
We're in an alternate universe.
Yeah,
right
I know, dude, I remember the show vividly. Yeah.
Well, Earth 2 Jason is not from the same Earth.
Yeah, I was going to ask if
I guess not. Yeah.
Was Nelson Mandela alive then?
Is it Berenstein or Berenstein?
That's great.
Anyway, yeah. So, by the way,
that's what this movie kind of reminded me of a little bit.
Did you know that this movie also has a Frankenstein?
It does. I did know
Clement
that.
von Frankenstein. He's the bad
Glock.
guy. Yeah, he's the bad
As
guy.
Glock. Because it's Glock chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, as soon as I saw chemicals, I'm like, oh, they're fucking creating super ninjas again.
I know, right?
But no,
they didn't.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
It's like, well, we've done that before. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go on to something new.
Gotta make something totally different.
Let's make a nerve gas.
They'll never catch on that it's essentially the same plot.
So anyway, Joe and Hero. So Joe has to take Hero on his date to Lisa's boat.
Which he's supposed to be cutting off until he sees her dress like a natural woman.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you get up there, Joe. You do this thing.
You get up there. Right. You get on that boat. And Hero like kisses her hand for like 72 minutes because he's a total little 12-year-old pervert.
Yes, he is. Oh, he's the perfect 80s kid in a 90s movie.
Yeah, true.
I'm actually surprised that you liked him.
Me?
I know that character sometimes grates on you.
Oh, it can, but
Hero is pretty charming in this.
No, Hero is charming, and here's the thing about when a character like that grates on me is when the character like that creates the trouble that everybody gets in. He actually is the one who creates the solutions more often than not, because he doesn't get captured.
Right.
So that's why Hero, and that's why I didn't have any issue with Paolo in the last movie either, because he didn't create any of the problems they were in. He
was also like 30.
Right, he was just a little person. Right.
He's the real little ninja man.
Right.
Yeah, he is.
But no, Hero, I thought, I mean, because there was a part in this movie, like once I realized what Hero was supposed to become, basically, or like be to this movie, I thought, man, how fucking cool would it have been to be that kid, to get that job. You're in an action movie. You know, you're a kid, you don't realize this isn't ever going to see the light of a movie theater ever. But, you know, but you're getting to be Action Man as a kid. It's like awesome. It you know, in a way, we kind of talked about that with like Last Action Hero, right? Like, imagine being that kid.
Is he could maybe, is he related to Ernie Reyes?
I don't know.
Reyes.
He could be. I mean,
all right,
the name Reyes is fairly common, I think, but
that would be, but like two martial arts actors around the same period of time that are both like little Asian kids.
There's also a lot of Bruce Lees.
And they're all related.
Right, all of them. To tell them apart, they slightly changed their the way they spelled their last name.
Yes.
But they kind of looked like each other too.
Well, get this. Lee Reyes was born February 2nd, 1978. So, Chuck, he was essentially our age.
Yeah.
So, like, man, that would have been awesome.
You would have been very happy to be a little ninja man.
Yeah, I would have been, because he got the little outfit and everything. Yeah,
Jason's
his parents.
got some shit.
I'm fucking 100% correct.
You're right.
So he is the son of Ernie Reyes Sr., which will make him the brother of Ernie Reyes Jr. Fucking A. Look at that.
I almost suggested that when you mentioned the name, but I was like, nah.
Totally is. That is wild.
That is wild.
Sidekicks up in this hizzy. Anyway.
Jason's so excited.
I just remember sidekicks.
He
I'm
said
like, yes
hizzy.
on it. Yeah.
I know you're
Stoked on some sidekicks.
You're locked in. Okay, so
All right.
So let's talk about what's going on at the chemical place because so Lisa's dad, who we find out later is her dad, not at this point, but he's like, oh, I've created the good news. The insecticide is, leaves nothing behind. It's great. It works exactly like I want. And Christy Nome brings the dog in and it's like, now test it. And he's like, I'm not testing that shit with this animal. It's like, you're fucking crazy person. By the way, that guy, the bald guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
I
already know what you're going to call him.
Yeah, it's Ken Bingsley. I was like, wait, because the first time we shot him, I was like, is that Academy Award winner Ben Kingsley in American Ninja 5? I was like, no. Okay.
That's Ken Bingsley.
Yeah. Instead of calling everybody cunts, he calls everybody very nice person.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like the complete opposite of Ben Kingsley.
He is in one other thing that I've seen. A spaghetti western called Rewards Yours, the Man's Mine.
Yeah. He's an Italian guy. Or at least he was Italian American or something. Yeah. But anyway, so he's like, it's like, well, no, we're not going to test this on this animal. Just know that when it's not cut with water, the shit is really, really dangerous and will kill everything. Like this. And meanwhile, somewhere in another country in a prolapsed butthole, a whole group of people are like, this is finally our chance. This is our chance to rule this world because when this shit gets out. Anyway,
the last week call out there.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is but he doesn't really want to do anything more with this, right? He wants to say, okay, it's like, we cannot have this be concentrated. It's got to always be like diluted. And I'm not going to work on this anymore for you. And so bad guy, Mr. Glock, Mr. Frankenstein says, okay, then we're going to get your daughter. And so in the middle of her date with Joe, the Viper shows up. I love how all the
he just zip zangs into all the scenes he's in.
Yes, he does. And I love the fact that every one of the main ninjas have like a special code name or something, but his makes sense because he's got two little Wolverine claws that act like little things.
Yeah, another Serpentor or yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that's more accurate than Wolverine.
But it is kind of a G.I. Joe villain a little bit, again, in an American Ninja movie.
He was in the movie Kill Point, which is awesome because that stars Richard Roundtree and Cameron Mitchell and Leo Fong.
Dang.
That's
like the Holy Trinity in some ways.
Kind of. Stack Pierce is really the third part of that of that Holy Trinity.
Or Joe Don Baker, now he'd be another. He's like the fifth point.
Yeah. But anyway, that's he was also in James Liu is the guy's name. He was also in Star Raiders: The Adventures of Saber Rain, which was a hilarious live riff tracks that starred Casper Van Dien. But anyway, he shows up and he's like, I'm a friend of your father's. And he does a really piss poor job of covering her mouth when he's trying to take her away. They probably should have done another take. But that's okay, because it doesn't really matter, because
Joe didn't hear him.
Anyway. Yeah. It's like, because it takes little man looking over the edge of the boat to say, hey, Joe, they're taking the lady away.
Yep.
And he goes down, and guess what pops out of the water, guys?
Ninjas.
More ninjas. Amphibious ninjas. Apparently, that's the missing element, right? That's the key ingredient of a good American Ninja movie is amphibious ninjas.
True. And an ninjambulance. That's what they put Lisa in. An ninjambulance.
Yeah. And they take off and they follow along, and they eventually end up at the airport, where they see her get stuffed into an airplane that says something on the side. I wrote it down. Aero. Hang on a second. Where'd my notes go? Here we go.
While you're doing that,
Aero ejectivios, which it looks like, seriously, like if you ever create an image with AI and it tries to spell a word, it looks like the side of this plane.
This is something I don't remember the exact context for it, but it might have been when we first meet Zubino. But there was a guy in the background of that scene doing a thing with his eyebrow. Did you notice that? Like,
no.
Oh my God, he was kind of doing the Rock eyebrow thing. I think he was supposed to look like
what?
Yeah, I think it was kind of supposed to look like he was in on the plot and looking nefarious, but all he could think to do was to do like a raised eyebrow.
I do remember this guy. He was in the background when
in the background
of the shot when they're outside with the computers and the doctor being told. Yes, I remember that. Yes. I was like, what the fuck is that guy doing?
I was totally zeroed in on that guy. Yeah.
I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that they had desks and computers outside, like with no cover, no nothing. I'm like, what if it rains?
I'm pretty sure it rains in Venezuela.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
That'd be hard to move all that shit back inside.
Yeah, because it was all bolted down and everything.
Maybe they just have a big tarp they throw.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bring out the tarp.
Bring out the tarp. There's a bunch of guys. Someone gets rolled under it.
Yeah.
They're rolling it up.
It's like getting sweaty as shit. And they're under there trying to like operate the computers.
American Ninja, the things you make us think about.
I also love the sound effect whenever the main bad ninja shows up.
Oh, the
zip zang?
It's like a
zing or zing. It's like a crash bang explosion thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were like, well, this kid's always playing Sega Game Gear. Let's get some video game sound effects in here. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, this is a world in which ninja powers are magical. Like, they're straight up magic. These people are magic.
Yeah. Yeah, they are magic. Ninjas are magic.
They are.
I don't even know what to say here.
This movie, if the American Ninja movies are brought to you by one uniting sponsor, it's Mariner. Everything, all the boats are always Mariner. Like every single one, you see Mariner. I think there was even a guy in one of them wearing a Mariner t-shirt. Might have been.
Oh, we haven't even talked about the starter jacket Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's wearing a Zubas hat.
But it's a Miami Dolphins Zubas hat. Yeah.
He is a big Dolphins fan.
Yeah, that's all.
Can I just say for once, I like the fact that a big chunk of this movie a big chunk of any of these fucking movies actually happens in the United States.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I actually thought that. I was like, oh, finally, American Ninja in America.
In America, yeah.
But then the moment I started thinking, I was like, wait, they're getting on an airplane. No.
Yeah. No, it's not American anymore.
And they make no bones about where they are either. Because the guy who captures, it's David Bradley who captures, right? Captures Joe. Says, "Welcome to Venezuela."
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then the little kid is eating one of those like Doritos, and it's one of the bags that has the open, like where you can see the chips on front.
Classic Doritos bag right there.
I was so excited to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it was so classic. I was expecting Jay Leno to be handing him the bag.
Oh my god!
In fact, for 1993, it almost feels like dated.
Because it feels like an 80s movie.
I think they had moved. I think they had already moved to the full colored bags by then.
Probably. Yeah, we didn't have window bags anymore in the 90s. Oh, you're right. Maybe not in Venezuela.
Oh shit, Venezuela. He did find a whole carton of them. Maybe they were all expired.
Yeah, that was like, it was a whole, here's some 3-year-old Doritos. Eat
expired.
a kid.
Doritos.
Doritos.
Well, yeah, he's like, hey, I found a case of these Doritos.
Yeah.
I mean,
he wants some, and then he fucks off. And Joe gets captured.
I love that he fucks off in every scenario he should have been seen. So he does have ninja powers too. As we know, it's late.
He's a latent ninja powers, yes, right. For sure.
What if like the Doritos Corporation was really pissed off about this because they're like paid for the product? They paid for the product placement and they used the wrong bag. Like,
that would have been hilarious.
Moved on from that bag.
Yes, that's not the bag we use anymore.
But let's also not forget that Joe multiple times attempts to get rid of the kid.
Oh yeah.
The first time at the airport.
He should. This is dangerous shit. He's like, I'm sending you home. Yeah. Of course, he's sending him home to like an empty house.
Right.
Because there's no one to watch him. But the kid is capable.
Totally.
Well, he says, it's like, go call the police. And then he gets into the plane.
Yeah.
In the cargo hold. And the kid shows up. Like, we don't know how, like, I think there's only one.
They show him running over there,
but
to get in.
There's only one way in or out of that plane, and Joe is right next to that one way.
Well, he moved to the back of the plane, so he got in and walked back, and the kid gets in and like stays right in front. It's believable to me,
I guess. I mean, I'm just saying I'm trying to like hype up that hero is the chosen one. He is going to become Darth Vader at some point. Happy 25th birthday to
he has all those Ninja Chlorians or whatever.
The Ninja Chlorians.
Ninja Chlorians, yeah.
Yes. They're off the charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts. Can I just say how much I hate the music in this movie?
Yeah, it's not great.
It's very lighthearted pan flute. It's just weird. It's weird. It kind of kills a lot of the fun scenes.
But pan flute always gets me hungry for China buffet.
Were you starving at the end of this movie then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least I was 20 minutes after this movie.
Did we mention David Bradley catching a flaming arrow?
No, but that was great.
That was pretty great. There are a lot of arrow catches in this series. That was like the best, not the best use of the caught arrow, or the best, oh shit, I got my buddy killed use of catching an arrow, but it was a flaming arrow. So that was cool. Yeah.
Since we're like talking about the whole series right now, we forgot to mention.
I'm still in continuity here.
Yeah, I know, but just to say, we forgot to mention the ninjas that were dodging bullets standing still in the last movie.
In the last movie, I know. I missed it by like 45 minutes in continuity. I was like, I can't go back to it. Yeah. That was awesome. They're like, that's bobbing their heads. Ooh, God, ooh, gosh. Yeah.
All right.
They sold it. It looked good.
It did.
So the main ninja bad guy in this, the Viper, he dresses like Doctor Strange, and that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Like every time he'd show up, it's like, oh, fucking Doctor Strange is here. Because he even's got like a medallion that looks like the Eye of Agamotto.
It's crazy cool.
It's great just talking.
He does have crazy cool medallions.
Yeah, he's talking about them too.
Yeah.
It does get talked about.
Yes.
It gets flashed back to as well. But yeah, everything about this movie should not work, and yet does. That's what I like about this movie.
This movie is about 15 minutes too long, though.
That's fair.
Because for the plot that it's trying to hold up, it's very thin.
Yeah, because there does feel like the first half of this movie and the last half of this movie feel like two completely different movies.
Yeah.
Because in the first half, you've got, you've got, I don't want to be stuck with this kid. I don't want to be stuck with this kid. Last part of the movie, they're like both dressed up as ninjas, going around.
Well, I mean, that's the way these things go.
I know, but like even the tone, even the relationship,
sensei team up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it just feels like, like there's a point when a mustachioed Pat Morita shows up.
It's just a lot you can cut. You can trim things. Just trim it,
Yeah, because like there's this whole thing where it's like the kid keeps calling Joe big bro, and he's like, you got to cut that shit out. Like, why do we even need to know about the fact that he had a brother? We don't even really know much about that other than apparently he died.
Right.
Or something. So it's like,
and he thinks he got him killed. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, with that,
that
could be.
I thought that was going to be like the last line of the movie. I thought that Joe was going to be to Hero's like, good job, little brother, or something.
You're
like
my
that.
brother now, little ninja
but
man.
He does call him brother at some point, but it's in early in the third act. I was like, I kind of wasted that. Yeah.
Well, he's got to at the end of the movie kiss the girl. That's that. I mean, fuck off, little kid. Jump off the boat, which he does. He does when Pat Morita shows up. He's like, "Oh, you've been learning some stuff." It's like, bro, you were there in your magic blue ghost ninja. Like, weren't you? Wasn't he?
I don't know. I think he was there, or they were dreaming. Or on acid.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we're way ahead because Joe gets arrested. They get off the plane. The kid fucks off, and it's like, welcome to Venezuela, and he gets arrested.
Yeah.
Immediately afterwards, smash cut to he's in the jail cell, and little hero comes up. And it's like, hey Joe, I'm right outside, so I'll get you. I'm gonna come and get you. And he's like, go to the American consulate or whatever, and the embassy and get help. And so the American embassy guy comes, and he's like, yeah, sorry, kid. They're trying him for being a spy for like, espionage or whatever. And then the little kid's like, he's no spy. It's like, there's a whole thing. And, what we find out shortly afterwards is that the ambassador is in on making deadly chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in on
there's too many villains in this too. And that's the other one where it's like, the government official is one of the bad guys too, reveals, but they subvert that in 2, I think, right?
Yes.
Where he's not the interior minister isn't the villain, but you think he is. No, that's 3. That's 3.
It's back to
3 because
everyone's a villain.
Because he's got the face lady.
Face
lady
secretary. But there are too many villains in this one. You've got the Viper, Glock, Flathead, and the Ambassador. It's like, good Lord, I can't keep him straight.
Is Flathead a villain? I don't even know what he does. He just transports people. I know who he is.
A villain, yeah.
I know who he is.
He's the head goon. I mean, he's just a goon, right? He's not really a villain. There's 3 real villains and there's a goon.
Well, there's 2 goons. There's 2 goons, yeah.
Because you have Ninja Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Flathead sucks at everything except for driving people places, and sometimes he needs to be driven.
Yeah. So you get the even better driver.
Yes.
There's a whole hierarchy of drivers in this crime business.
Yes. Flathead.
There's a van bike chase.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
It is actually really good. It is good. It's well done. And it honestly looks like at one point the little ninja man almost like unalives himself when he goes off the front of that bike.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, holy shit, is he alive? I don't know.
Originally, so that was Ernie Reyes Jr. And then and after that, it's the other Reyes.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's why Sidekicks got canceled.
Yeah.
Because he was dead.
Oh, totally.
Rest in peace, Ernie Reyes Jr.
All right. That's my last contribution. All right.
Is that where your notes
done
stop?
Talking for the next hour?
Yes, I'm done. I told you I was going to do a Dudacop. Like, I'm only going to be in half of one of the episodes.
So,
man.
yeah, so like he's got to go. He chases down the he chases down the police van, which is also being chased by Flathead.
Yeah, I don't know if they're chasing him so much as escorting them. I can't figure that out.
No, because I think it's all been set up by the ambassador to say, we're going to take him here.
You come intercept him. Okay.
And
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But somehow little ninja man commandeers the van
by killing himself, unaliving himself. And while the cops are looking over the edge, like, is that kid dead? Ernie Reyes Jr.'s brother gets in the van and drives off.
He's like, I've switched. I even look slightly different.
Yes. But yeah, then they fuck off up a mountain.
And they get chased by
they get chased by Flathead and the other dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Ninja Man shows up.
Well, Joe Castle first has to like poof himself out of the back of the van, and basically kick the shit out of Flathead and his lackey, who's also his driver. And that's Cobra shows up, or Viper, whatever his name is, shows up on top of the car, and then we have a chase like in 4 where there's conveniently placed ninjas like at every spot they could go. But it's kind of funny that they hang the kid up on the pole. And he's just hanging there. Yeah. All the fighting's going on.
And because he also thinks that at one point Joe's been killed.
Yeah, and he starts crying like a little baby.
But then Joe's like, I'm fine.
Did you mention that Joe has a Elvis accent?
What does he say?
He says, "You're gonna hit me. You hit me hard."
He's got to go taking care of business now. And
he like takes a punch, and then he says that, and then he punches back, and it's wow. David Bradley is on full display in this one. Yep.
Oh my god, I feel like I remember
all
that
his powers.
Yes.
Did you block that out? Oh,
I guess I blocked that out.
Maybe you didn't register as an Elvis impersonation, but it was.
Oh, that is hilarious. You want to hit me? Don't hit me.
I didn't register.
But you're not going to step on my blue suede ninja shoes.
No. What,
and then he has the call me the lone ninja line not long after that.
Oh my god, that was good.
Yeah, because it's like
that's right before he gets set on fire.
Yeah, his fire dive into the water is really good.
Yeah, his stuntman's fire dive, but that was
definitely him.
They're probably right though. They're probably like, it's live burn. Everybody does them these days.
You can do this.
It's the easiest thing in the world.
You're a ninja.
Easiest thing in the world.
For Christ's sake.
But and that's when the kid thinks that he's dead, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then
he shows up on top of that boat doing his splits and shit.
And then he's on top of a fucking building with the chains, like, show me a sign, Tetsu, and the chains go pop.
Yeah. When did he get in handcuffs?
I have no idea.
What? No, he was in handcuffs in the back of the van.
Oh, so he was still in them.
So he was on top I had questions about that.
He wasn't in them while he was fighting.
No, he was
definitely not in them.
Definitely wasn't.
Yeah, that was all messed up. Yeah, because like I was trying to
my brain
because when you see him in the back of the van, the police van, he's got the chains on. I was like, oh, okay, well it's still like the chains that go out to here. Maybe he can, pop. So, but then I started thinking, it's like, wait a minute.
Handcuffs. Like, yeah.
Well, but
Great.
I mean, but like there is a chain between them. So it's like he can get out to here. But he's not like this.
How much is out to here? Tell our listeners this isn't television.
1.5.
18 inches
Okay.
or so.
Thanks.
That's 1.5.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry. I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Like
sorry.
1.5, you're like 18 inches.
18's bigger than 1.5. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Anyway, so he, and so I thought, oh, okay, when he gets out, he's going to have to fight his way out. And I thought, okay, especially because like what I expected to happen was that they were going to go and open the back of the van, like after they shot it up, and he was just going to like punch immediately, right?
Yeah.
And like bam, 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 punch him like repeatedly in the face. But no, he hides himself and then he swings down to kick them.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, well, he's going to have to only kick is what I was thinking. But then it's like, I noticed it, like the fight scene kept going. I'm like, I kind of forgot the chains until he was on top of the building. And I'm like, wait.
It's a total bad continuity.
Yeah,
error,
it is the worst continuity error, maybe in our show's history. And we've seen some bad movies.
And then little Lee Reyes walks around Venezuela crying his heart out, trying to trade his game gear for instructions to the American embassy. And then he decides to just walk down decides to walk down a dark alley and try to join a dice game.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, he's like, hey, I guess this is my life now, so I better earn a living.
That's
so
what
I can go get a place to live.
That's what Jack Burton would do.
Right.
And
But-
And they're like, fuck that. They're like, push him down. And then the guy comes out.
He's
whose
gonna
bike he had stolen
It was
earlier.
the guy whose bike he's stolen. Yep. And he calls him a thief and he's about to cut his
off
finger
his
off.
hand. Yeah.
Because that's Venezuelan justice.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, sure.
In this movie, it is.
But then Joe Castle shows up and he's like, nope, not today.
Papaya?
motherfuckers." Papaya. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
He cuts the papaya in half instead.
Yeah, because he grabs the guy's hand and then cuts a piece of papaya, which, where'd the papaya? Was it always there? Or did he poof that he ninja
it was
poof
just
at it?
there. It was there.
It was on the table, I think.
Oh, okay, okay. But anyway, he wanted some and he was willing to share.
How did they escape?
How did they escape?
They just ran and got
Some
on
kind
a
of
rope.
or something.
They
Yeah.
got on a rope
And what
and
does
they
he say
fucked up
before-
into fish.
What does he say?
yep.
What does he say before he gets on the rope?
I don't remember.
He says, "Let's swing."
Oh, that's right. Let's swing. Yeah. And was that his tricky dick impersonation?
No, it was me
Still
trying to
Elvis.
do him trying to do Elvis. Yeah.
It comes across a
That's
little
the one.
Nixon.
That's the one I remember for sure. I was like, "What fucking thing is he doing?" But it did not register.
I think
as
that's
Elvis.
the last time he does it. I think he only does it those 2 times, but it's so weird. It's like
So
such a
remember-
strange choice.
Remember when you said American Ninja 4 could have benefited from some one-liners? You're wrong.
Oh yeah, not if you're gonna do him as Elvis. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. So it cuts back to because this is one of my favorite sequences, exchanges in the movie. It cuts back to our villains in a room talking, and it's the ambassador, and he's gone to see Glock. And he says, and Glock says, he does a lot of this in this movie where he says, "What do you mean about something?" He says, "What do you mean,
Flash Gordon
American
approaching?"
Ninja? Ridiculous." And then Viper says, "Only a ninja can fight like him." And then the ambassador says, "And he's American. I can verify it." It's like, well, yep, there you go. American Ninja. Perfect logic.
Yeah. And this is where my notes end. So good luck, gentlemen.
Oh boy. I've still got 1, 2.5 pages of notes.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
But I have no idea what happens next.
I mean, the plot
the
listed on Wikipedia is shorter than your 6 pages of notes.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it was so basically, so it's like, okay, we've got the girl.
We got another ninja attack. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna make sure that her dad keeps working on the nerve gas stuff. And meanwhile, after saving Hero, this is basically about when Joe's like, well, I guess, I need to kind of train, because one of the things
not yet, because they get attacked by Master Shredder, Super Ninja, whatever the fuck, the Viper, and he's got his purple ninjas with him this time.
Oh, that's right. Because at some point, if you go down some random alleyway in Venezuela, you're going to find like 6 or 7 unconscious purple ninjas.
So the Viper does his like a crash bang whiz zang, smoke appearance, and all the purple ninjas don't. They just kind of like show up because that's how they shot the scene.
They're like, they have to kind of like jog behind. It's like, oh shit, we're late.
They're all hiding behind the car.
Point, Hero has a flashback. He has a very important memory, and a memory is that
he got his game gear. No, sorry, go ahead.
Viper got his game gear, the crazy cool medallion, when he killed
Hero's dad. Yeah, so that's one thing.
Because Hero is the last of the ninja clan.
Yes. So when we met Pat Morita, he's like, oh, this is my little nephew, and Joe's like, I didn't know you had a nephew. Like, apparently there's a whole backstory between those two. They seem to know each other quite well. Like, did they have ninja wars? Like, were they fighting on the same side of a ninja war or something? I don't know. But anyway, he's like, no, he's my great nephew.
Grandnephew.
Grandnephew. Sorry. And he's like, his mother died in childbirth and his dad died when was killed when he was young. And that's when that backstory fills in the rest of, his father was super badass ninja man.
Yeah. So
like that power is passed down.
You find out about, the David Bradley, Joe's brother died. You get that little bit of information, but then they decide they have to do the nine levels of power configuration together. They got to do the church and the steeple, right? That comes back in this one big time.
God, your memory of this is so good.
Well, I have good notes. And
shut up, Chuck. You don't have very good notes.
They do the church and the steeple, and then that's when Pat Morita shows up. He just does his ninja poof, and he's in.
But he's got a mustache.
Dude, that should totally be a fucking cereal. Ninja poofs.
Ninja poofs.
Sorry.
Fuck yeah. Or at least a beer snack or something. Right?
Yeah, beer snack. Ninja poofs.
And he gives us the background dump that you were about to get into. So go ahead. What's the background dump?
Well, he hinted at this at the very beginning of the movie, but basically, Hero within him basically has all of the Jedis in him, much like Rey does.
Yeah.
It's like all
Ninja
of the
Chlorians, man.
Ninja Chlorians. He carries with him his entire family line of ninjosity. It's like his powers, and he's just got to unlock it. And when he unlocks it, with the help of Joe, then
his balance is terrible as he's
with the help of a
it.
5-minute ninja training session.
Yes.
Yeah. Montage. Yeah.
Take 5 minutes, and you're going to be a ninja. If I'd have only known that, I would be a ninja today.
Well, you don't have any ninja Chlorians, Jeff.
It doesn't take any hard work. It just takes
you know
ninja
what?
Chlorians. Yeah.
Maybe the super ninja powers shouldn't just be held by a select few people and bloodlines. Maybe we should all be able to tap into the ninja Chlorians.
But then ninjas wouldn't be special like they are. Anyway.
Well, now they've got to go storm the castle. So they
have fun storming the castle.
Have fun storming the castle, and the tiny little ninja, his outfit doesn't fit. So it's like
because they have to beat up 2 normal sized ninjas.
That's kind of a funny gag.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. So his pants are falling off. He's trying to.
But so Joe has to go back and take his belt and tie it around.
And then they go through like a pool party. And Joe says to him, "Don't look, you'll start sweating."
Yeah, as
That's
there's
because
like
he's a
bikini
pervert.
butt. Yeah.
That's because the kid's a pervert.
But you sweat? That's
No.
what happens?
You always sweat the ladies when they're in
Ooh.
bikinis.
I always sweat, like, profusely. Yeah.
That's not quite what I meant. It was more like your hizzy reference from earlier. Sweating ladies.
I sweating them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's ninja talk. You wouldn't understand. Yeah, they go through the pool party and then I don't know what happens because I don't have any notes.
Well, they start fighting in the halls. Meanwhile, Ken Bingsley is trying to make a pass at Lisa.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Oh yeah, he is, and he also they get foiled by somehow the Flathead, or the hell his name is, gets involved in the fight, and he gets beat up for a second by Bradley, Little Ninja Man.
Yeah.
And he tells Glock that they have a Little Ninja Man. And he's like, again, he says, "What are you talking about? You're being ridiculous. Are you sniffing the VB12 again?" It's like, wow.
I like it.
I mean, the only way that could have been better is if he'd been accused of drinking Drano.
I don't know. Sniffing BB12 is really funny.
It is funny. It's VB12, right? What does that even stand for?
Vitamin Bit 12. I keep calling it BB12 because I'm
Viper
stupid.
Bradley. I think it's VB. I don't know. I just heard VB.
Anyway, yeah.
Sure.
Whatever it is, it's the stuff that the old man's making.
Yeah,
Right?
and
But they're still storming the castle. Like this is basically we're in the third act here, right?
but now they need to fuck off on a
castle
rope
storm.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do leave.
Oh my God. The
Do they
rope.
leave?
Yeah.
So
My notes are getting scanned at this point.
okay, so yeah. So basically they get into the
Welcome to my world, buddy.
I only have about a page left, and it's all like one-liner shit.
they get into the they get into the room where Lisa's being kept, and
Oh, they got to do the smoke test, the bomb test too.
well, yeah, hang on a second, because how they are able to get away with Lisa is they go into the room after Flathead was trying to mac on her, and with a funny accent,
Yeah.
Joe's like, there are people trying to infiltrate or whatever it is. It's like they're trying to get the girl, and it's like, who? And it's like, me. Bam! And fucking knocks his ass out. And then he walks into the room and she's like, Joe. And then he's like, watch out behind you. And here comes the little ninja guy. It's like, wait, no. And he's like, no, it's me, it's Hero. It's like,
and then they put him
good.
on the hotel cart and throw him down the
And it's
hallway.
like, now I'm going to drive. And he's like,
That's right.
And he
That's
throws him
right.
down the hallway and he starts kicking everybody.
Mhm.
It is fucking glorious.
It is really good.
And then they do the thing where he goes down the stairs or whatever, and then he runs back. You know, it's the Han Solo thing around the corner, because there's like, I don't know, man, it had to be at least 50 ninjas that were chasing after them.
So
And
many
guys
ninjas
with guns.
in this world.
And guys with guns.
Yeah, and they chase him out.
Well, then he gets this bright idea to give everybody irreparable rope burn on the palms of their hands.
Yeah, another rope jump. Yeah.
He's going to throw this rope down. Don't worry about how you're supposed to really deal with a rope. Just slide down that motherfucker.
Oh.
Your hands are worthless for the rest of your life.
That's right. It was after that scene that you get the first appearance of the first utterance of the Little Ninja Man line.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because then,
They
he
got to
comes
regroup
to.
and come back.
Yeah, he comes to and then goes and tells Glock that they got the girl.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't really matter. We're almost done anyway.
Yep.
Now, it should also be noted that Lisa's dad is trying to booby trap the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that when they test it, it will blow up in their face. To which Lisa's, and he's telling her this while a bad guy is just right there earlier.
Well, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work because Glock is kind of making sure that everything is right. I want to test now.
Yeah.
And the doctor, the scientist man is like, I'm not ready now. It's like, no, I said now. I'm the guy with all the guns and
now,
ninjas.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like my ninjas say you're going to do it now.
Right. So he does.
He does
tries
try.
to expose the gas, but it's not enough. And they both just end up coughing a little bit.
Yeah. I thought this shit was supposed to be instant death.
Right.
And it's not.
That actually gets worse later, but it's really funny later. But yeah, it's just they just cough a little bit. He's like, "You motherfucker, you tried to trick me," and he takes him and he puts him in the atrium or something.
Yeah, and it's like,
Puts him in a glass box with the bomb.
Right. Meanwhile,
And
Joe has sent right, because goddamn it, that dog is gonna die. Is the bad guy's idea the whole time since minute one of this movie.
That's all they want to do is kill the dog.
Yeah, it's like,
as long
guys,
as they can kill puppies.
there are easier ways to do this. The whole plan of making this gas was just to kill that dog.
It's interesting to me that like
they go through all these hoops.
It has demonic powers or something that we don't know about. It's like it's written in the Necronomicon that the only way to kill it is by creating this very specific compound of gas.
and the doc is just a little bit too much of the bleeding heart to really do it, you know.
Oh fuck.
Anyway, so yeah, but meanwhile, Joe has told Hero to go back to the American embassy and get backup, basically. Yeah. Meanwhile, Lisa, again, she can't read, so she's not super smart. She's like, I'm not going with you. I'm going to help you get my father. It's like, you have no ninja powers, lady. It's like, what? It's like, keep your sexy ass back in the van and let Joe just take care of this.
This
but
is
whatever.
Not a game. Those were ninjas. That's what he says to her.
Yes. As if you didn't already know the stakes.
Yeah, but
if she was to read that about the steak, she would think it said STEAK.
Yeah, she was hungry.
Yeah,
she was
like,
hungry.
Steaks. I make a great steak.
Yeah,
come over to my boat.
You want steak, fish, or chicken?
I guess you didn't want fish or chicken. You want a steak all along.
I just didn't understand the steaks.
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they notice that Hero's being kind of manhandled by the ambassador, and they're like, "Uh-oh, he's a bad guy too."
Yep.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
And then he kicks. Now
there is
ass.
that's a pretty good scene. This scene does have some good action stuff in it.
The kid's got some moves. He can kick some ass, and then that's when Glock says, "There really is a little ninja man."
Right. But then also Joe wipes out a room full of ninjas too.
You mean the room of painted boxes? Like what was going on in that dream room? It was a bunch of white boxes with the
it's like
insignia on the
or something.
Yeah, it was really strange. I was like, is this the dream sequence that we're in now? But yeah, he kicks ass there too. There's a lot of ass kicking going on.
I like when Glock finally says it took 5 movies, but Glock finally says the quiet part out loud. Your master ninjas are worthless.
See, that's why this is a good movie.
I'm having more fun talking about it.
So yeah, there's a lot of obfuscation. Oh god, I can't say that word.
Obfuscation.
Thank you,
Chuck. Chuck is our professional pronunciator.
It helps that I'm missing my front tooth. I don't have to. I don't have to fuck with the obfuscation.
Right. Well, it doesn't help that I've got a mouthful of Swedish fish too. But anyway,
I was wondering what the fuck you were eating.
Jeff would eat Swedish fish while recording a podcast.
Hey, I was offered fish or chicken. I took the fish.
Okay.
Anyway, so the so like you get a situation where Lisa gets nabbed. At one point, the Viper ends up nabbing Hero. Joe's got to fight some guys. And Joe,
professional description. Sorry, keep going.
well, yeah, I mean,
This is what we have.
It's what we have. It's what happens in the movie. Like people get nabbed and people get separated.
This is where it could have been condensed like 3 minutes of
Probably.
movie.
So much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, there was a 5-minute training montage, like 2 minutes at best. Okay.
But we need all 5 minutes for the music. No. Anyway, so basically Lisa's getting tossed in with her dad. And she's like, "Oh, Dad." And he's like, "Yeah, it's like we're not in good shape." And
yeah, we're pretty much dead. And she tries to untie his rope for like 37 minutes.
Right.
Yes, so slowly. She's not even like paying attention to it. She's just kind of like moving her arms while she's looking at Flathead.
Well, she's engaged into a conversation with both Flathead and her father at the same time, because Flathead comes in and is taunting her. It's like, basically, you can live if you live with me, which is a dumb offer, because she's like, you're gross. And
I'd prefer the gas, is what she said.
Yeah, I prefer the gas. I can see that. I'm cool with that idea. It's like, yeah, he's
now,
gross.
if it was Ben Kingsley, she might have been like,
oh yeah, if it's Ben, if he comes in, it's like, he's like, "You're going to live with me, you fucking cunt." And she'd be like, "Oh,
I knew you were going to go to Sexy Beast. I fucking knew it.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm not going to go to Gandhi. He wouldn't have had anything important to say in this situation. Gandhi's not a goon.
His name's not Goondi, Jason. That might be my worst joke in the history of this show.
It's pretty bad. Anyway, so she basically Hero ends up having to fight the main Viper guy, because he's like, "You killed my dad." Like any good badass,
I've killed
to die.
I've killed lots of fathers.
Yeah.
And it's like, "Well, you got this bling from him." It's like, that's my dad. And it's like, and he still is like, eh. Yeah, so he doesn't even react to that.
He's like, "Who's your dad? Don't care."
So Joe ends up catching up with that, and they have a fight. And there's a really good like line where it's like, "Which one of you dies first?" And Joe just kind of gets up and it's like, "Over here, buddy." Yeah, it's like, I'll take that.
I die first.
But then he like whoops his ass to the point where he has to like magic his way away. So we think, oh, he's just gone or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he and Hero go to basically get rid of all the other bad guys waiting for the gas to get, like, they all collect in the same room.
Well, the ambassador and Glock and Flathead are all there.
Yeah. It's like they're just there to watch.
They need to see if it works.
Yeah, and Glock is like, he's satisfied. They haven't died yet, but he's satisfied because he says, "We have more important business to do. We've got to go meet the general." It's like, but you haven't seen if it works.
Right.
Well, hey man, they want their payday. You know,
but they do see if it works here.
Oh yeah, they do, because they come in and basically like they fight their way in and they get to the door and they're like, "Don't open the door. We're all going to die if you open the door." And he's like, "Hey, Hero, go get those gas masks that are right over there."
There's 6 masks. There are 7 people.
Yes.
And one dog.
And
he's like, there's two masks left. Good luck.
He gives one to the doctor, one to the daughter. Both of the ninjas take theirs. And then, yes, there's 2 masks
left. And then
left.
they grab the dog and they grab the dog to run away.
Well, no, because Flathead trips over.
Oh, that's right. And he dies.
And breaks his mask.
Yes.
Yeah, and dies. Yeah.
Quickly.
Mm-hmm. And so now there's only one mask left. And don't they both die?
Well, yeah, because that breaks too. The
ambassador
Glock shoots the ambassador.
Yeah.
He takes the mask and finds out the mask is broken, just like Flathead's. Yeah. Now they die very quickly.
Yes.
Whereas the doctor and the daughter were in that room for quite some time. For all we know, about an hour.
Quite some time.
Well, the thing is the doctor has been building an immunity to this, and with his daughter, for the last 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And he's
They're
also
like
giving
the
it to that
Sicilian.
dog.
Inconceivable that they could die.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
My favorite part of this, no shit, is so fucking funny. They get out of the room and it's still smoke. There's still gas, smoky gas. They take their masks off and they're coughing.
Yeah.
It's like, put your fucking masks back on.
Yeah, all they do is close the door.
And I think
like
they're
that.
actually coughing too, because I think that it's, like
Whatever is in the
that
air
smoke.
to make the effect.
Yeah, so they're actually choking, and it's so funny. It's like, why did you take your masks off?
You're all gonna die.
You're all
But
just
doesn't
gonna die.
he
but they're
throw
all
one
mute at this
mask?
point?
Doesn't he throw one back into the room and then lock the room?
Yeah.
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 But he locks the room.
He spins the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a vault, like a bank vault. Anyway, so they go and they find out, the Viper is in the airplane that they came to Venezuela in, and he's got a suitcase that's got a bomb in it.
More suitcase bombs and no
More
Carl to
suitcase.
blow it up.
No. So he goes, and that's also Hero was nabbed too, in the escape at that point. So they have to go and get Hero. So yeah, Hero
I think Hero gets in. They both get in the plane.
Hero was nabbed because
he was nabbed by Viper. I know
he was
he
nabbed by
yells
Viper.
out. He yells out to Joe, and it's not clear if he was nabbed or if he just got in the plane.
No, he was nabbed by him because
I
at
was
one
super
point,
confused because I thought he stole the plane.
because
Hero
when they
did.
get
And I was
outside,
like, "Hey Joe, come on, I got a plane."
no, when they get outside, I think Lisa says, "What happened to Hero?"
Okay, so he got nabbed.
He got nabbed by Viper on the way out.
Okay.
And then Viper, so he's like, Joe, come help.
Yeah.
And the door's wide open, thankfully. So Joe's able to get in. And then they fight. A head bonks the bomb, which turns it on. By the way, I love that because remember those old little dashboard clocks, like little digital ones you could stick onto the side of the dashboard, and it had 3 buttons on it and a clock. That's what's controlling this bomb.
Yeah, that's what controlled bombs in the 80s, Jeff.
Yeah. Whatever sets off the alarm is going to set off the bomb.
It's good
Hero,
enough.
Good enough.
Hero goes to fly the plane while Joe and the Viper fight over each other and fly us in for landing.
What I have here as my note:
Land us on the truck, Jason.
medallion, slingshot, live burn, skydive.
Yep.
That's my note.
Yep. Hero ends up using his medallion as a weapon.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did you get the slingshot? It doesn't matter.
Great
Don't answer.
question.
Don't answer.
Great question.
Doesn't matter.
Never used it before. Yeah. Yeah, I think
It came
Viper
with the
might have
ninja
just been a
suit.
big Tom and Hook fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just
but
have it up there on the
then
dashboard.
there's still a bomb to deal with.
Yeah.
So as we all know, bombs are pretty easy to defuse. Diffuse. That was the word I was looking for last week. And he pours a
Unassemble.
jug with something on it. Like I don't know what it is. It's a
Yeah, he
jug
just
of clear
pours
liquid.
water on
He
it.
just pours water on
with
the
1
suitcase
second to go.
and
You
that-
could have just thrown it out the window.
Yeah.
It would have exploded in the air.
Yeah.
But it had the
just
gas
like
in
the
it.
last one.
Oh,
Yeah. But the gas
So we
would have
don't
been
know how-
high enough in the atmosphere. It just would have gone up.
Yeah, I don't really know how that works.
I don't know what he pours on it. Is it supposed to be like an accelerant? Is it hydrochloric acid? Like what the fuck is it?
It's ninja magic.
Yeah, I would have honestly preferred if he'd just done the church and the steeple and it
That would
defused
have
the
been
bomb.
awesome.
That would have been way cool.
or it would have like turned it into a dud where it would just go.
Yeah.
Right. It would just it would just pssed out. Yeah.
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 Out.
Yep. But it's diffused. They win the day. Take us home, hero. Which at first I thought they were just going to fly back to the United States.
Yeah,
what
it's
I
like
thought, too.
they'll figure
Leave
out
the
their
other-
own way home.
yeah.
I was like, how is he going to figure out how to get there?
Yeah. Or land.
Well,
that too.
yeah.
But hey, Game Gear is good for something. It taught him how to drive and fly a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hero has learned
he
that
has
there's more
Drivachlorians too.
Drivachlorians. Yeah.
I mean, I'll buy anything with this game at this point.
If only he'd have turned around and said, "Now this is pod racing." I even fucked that up. Now this is podcasting. That's staying in.
I almost had a spit take.
It has to say it. That should be the end of our show from here until eternity.
It'll be like a quantum leap. We'll recall back to American Ninja 5 when we finally end the series. We'll recall back to American Ninja 5, and this will be the last thing that we ever say on the podcast right here. Thank you for listening to Film Seizure.
That was good, Jeff.
Oh,
man.
man.
That was podcasting.
It was. We're an award-winning podcast, everybody. Anyway,
Yes, we are.
So they get home. Hero has learned that like not everything's a game. That was a whole thing about his character. He is like, not everything's a game. He wants him to go back to school because he's got to do some real learning, which I think that's pretty much out the window. All he has to do now is ninja learning.
Yeah, he's just a ninja.
He's just a ninja now. But they get back to Florida. They, Pat Morita shows up and Hero jumps off the boat. And this is where my brain melted because it's like, oh, you've been learning some things. It's like, yeah, dude, you were there to kickstart this whole thing, right? Now I do think he was huffing that gas or maybe not. Or maybe like Pat Morita's doing like the Santa Claus thing where it's like, it's like, that's a secret. Wink, wink, or whatever.
I don't know. I prefer to think he's been hitting that VB12 pretty hard. Yep.
Yeah.
And Joe is like, hey, Hero, go hang out with Lisa's dad.
Get out of here. Hang out with the lady.
Yeah.
Hang out with the lady.
Yep. And that's it.
That was podcasting.
That was podcasting. That should be our new sign off.
That's what I just said.
Did you say it should be our sign off? Like, you meant our sign off for every episode. I meant our sign off for the whole thing.
I know. Yeah. Well, both are good.
Shit.
Anyway,
this was a fun romp.
I like this movie,
the Ninjaverse. I mean, just in general, like you said, you can appreciate the earlier movies more if you kind of reassemble their order. Like if you watch the fourth one first and then watch the other ones, you might be like, "Oh, this is pretty good."
Yeah, like if I went 4, then 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, 3. Of course, 3 would then at that point be the fourth one, which of course shouldn't be any good anyway. And then 5 would have redeemed everything.
It's 4, 1, 2, 5. That, I mean, you could just leave 3 out of it. How many ninja stars for this one?
3.5.
Jason.
1.5.
Oh, it's your least favorite.
It's my least favorite. But there's fun to be had. I'm
going to give it a 3. I'm going to put it with the first one, basically. Yeah.
I wish I could just smoke ninja at the end of this episode.
We all just poof out of here. We all ninja poof. Yeah.
If we had a producer, editing team, they would totally put the sound effect.
But we'd have to have the video part too. So like when my smoke goes off, when like the smoke clears, you still see me walking around the end of my couch and around the way.
Definitely, like at the tail end of the smoke. Yeah, for sure.
While you're untying the other ninjas,
maybe I trip over the end of the couch and I fall, and it's like.
Or you trip over a puppy and you die.
Yeah, smash my gas
because you are our flathead. I'm pretty sure. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Let's land.
I would much rather be a Chris Rock from 4.
Let's take us home here.
All right. So next week we go from American Ninja 5 to Amadeus.
Art to art.
Oh man.
or fart to art. Well,
Yeah, fart to art.
we'll let you figure out which one's the fart.
Yeah.
So yeah, as if tonal whiplash there, we're going to be talking about Amadeus next week, and that's because that was suggested to us by someone.
Yeah, a listener.
No, you were the one who brought it to. So
Yeah, we got
A listener.
We got an email from a listener. So
There you
that's
go.
a great reminder. If you like what we do and you listen and you want to hear us talk about a movie that you like, email us.
yeah, email us
What's our
at
email?
that's what I call podcasting at filmseizure.com.
Email at
Volume 50.
filmseizure@email.com.
Yeah, film seizure at email.
Film
Seizure
seizure
at gmail.com.
Email
No
us
one's
there.
going to know how to
We're
email us.
fucking killing it there,
they're
guys.
not. They'll try a bunch of different things though. Yeah.
Eventually, they're gonna get. Oh yeah, somebody's getting something.
Just church and steeple, and we'll get it.
That's
Yep.
true.
We're all
Church and
ninjas
steeple.
now, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've learned all
We've learned it all. We've learned it all.
Yep.
So it's too late. Learned
It's
everything.
too late. We've already learned everything.
So yeah. So next week, that is June 5th. You can listen to us talk about Amadeus. I'm sure it's going to be a completely different vibe than what we've been doing here, which is, that's good. That's good.
I don't know. That Mozart guy was
Sounds
pretty wacky. At
He was
least
pretty
according
wacky.
to the movie.
That's pretty wacky. Yeah. So that you go to filmseizure.com, you can find where you can follow us on all the social medias. You can find out where you can listen to our shows and subscribe to the various places to get the podcast. Also, next week on Monday, for Monster Mondays, I am kicking off a week of, or a month of Universal Classic sequels. So getting pretty close to the end of the Universal Classic Monsters set. So next Monday, June 3rd, you can hear our conversation, or my conversation, about Invisible Agent.
Nice.
So yeah, one of the Invisible Man sequels. This upcoming weekend at my website, bmovieanima.com, it's time to get ready for the summer, everybody. On Friday, I've got a review that you can read of Summer Camp Nightmare. And then on Saturday, got a new episode of B-Movie Enema, the series, where we watch The Beach Girls. So kicking off summer right. Going to the camp, going to the beach. Fun times.
Nice.
All right. So until then, I think we can finally put the American Ninja back in his dojo. Where he can sit down and contemplate and meditate on what he's done to us. And until then, I'm Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm exhausted.
I'm Jason Oliver, and that was podcasting.